He said there were three main reasons for going to war in Iraq: weapons of mass destruction, the claim that Iraq was sponsoring terrorists who had attacked us on 9/11, and that Iraq had purchased nuclear materials from Niger. Now, all three of those turned out to be false.
First, just if I might correct a misperception, I don't think we ever said, at least I know I didn't say, that there was a direct connection between September the 11th and Saddam Hussein. We did say that he was the state sponsor of terror. I was very careful never to say that Saddam Hussein ordered the attacks on America.
Then that must have been a different George W. Bush who gave the State of the Union address on January 28, 2003.
Saddam Hussein aids and protects terrorists, including members of Al-Qaeda. Secretly and without fingerprints, he could provide one of his hidden weapons to terrorists or help them develop their own. Before September the 11th, many in the world believed that Saddam Hussein could be contained.
Do you think stability will prevail over there? If you get out of Iraq and leave it in chaos, Iran comes in, takes over, all right? And then we basically have a 10 times worse situation because the oil flow then goes under the jihadists in Iran. You want to debate geopolitics with me? Do you really? It's all about oil. You just answered the question. Absolutely, it's all about oil. The whole world is about oil.
Right. It's all about oil. That's why we're there. Big deal.
The show's not going to be on
left and right.
All right, look. You actually think that we're a bad country for doing what we did, and Bush is an evil man? Is that what you're putting forth here?
I don't know that I think that he's evil. I think he's misguided. I think that in the beginning...
Make no mistake. The United States will hunt down and punish those responsible for these cowardly acts. Stretch. Big stretch. I'm sorry.
Mr. President. I know you said there'll be a time for politics, but you've also said you wanted to change the tone of Washington. Howard Dean recently seemed to muse aloud whether you had advanced knowledge of 9/11. Do you agree or disagree with the RNC that this kind of rhetoric borders on political hate speech?
Yeah. Look, there's time for politics. And, you know, it's time for politics. And, it's an absurd insinuation.
In that case, sir, can I follow up on something unrelated?
From the police department and the fire department was standing at the new school in back for the 2 days, and they were screaming at the media, please pay attention. We got phone calls. We listened that their husbands or their children were saying there's explosives coming on like the 23rd, 26th floor before the buildings went down. And the media started laughing and said, we have no time to hear you.
Tonight that two suspects are in FBI custody after a truckload of explosives was discovered around the George Washington Bridge. That bridge links New York to New Jersey over the Hudson River. Whether the discovery of those explosives has anything to do with other events of the day is unclear, but the FBI has two suspects in hand, said the truck load of explosives, enough explosives were in the truck to do great damage to the George Washington Bridge.
Bomb in the building, start clearing out. Sorry, you said the bomb? What'd you say? Bomb in the building, start clearing out. Got it.
Yeah, here's one of the guys who can tell you I'm okay, all right? Here, hold on. You want to call your mother or something?
Right now. You gotta get back from here. You know that. You gotta get back. All right. I know.
I was going to go do a job, and I got on the elevator, and the freight elevator, and I heard the first explosion, and the elevator blew up, the doors blew up, and it dropped, and I was lucky that the elevator got caught. floors that...
Which floors?
The B levels, the basement levels, with all the, all the mechanics on.
A time to cause maximum disruption. You would calculate that time as the start of the working day and perhaps the biggest, busiest complex in the world.
We're at a hotel in Arlington, Virginia. It shows the explosion that followed the crash of American Airlines Flight 77 into the Pentagon, but the video does not show the airplane. The video's existence was disclosed in 2002. A hotel manager says it was confiscated by the FBI. It was just publicly released as the result of a lawsuit.
I repeat what I said. I truly am not that concerned about him.
For future generations, a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
George Bush has talked time and time again about the new world order, and this is the best chance to begin to establish the new world order.
If I could tell the world just one thing, it would...
Government and the Iraqi military.
I woke up in New York like you did this morning. I read...
What are you reading?
The New York Times. There's a paragraph in here. I'll read it to you.
Well?
About your dad's former Secretary of State, James Baker. In his 1995 memoir, Mr. Baker said he opposed ousting Saddam Hussein in the Persian Gulf War in 1991 because he feared that such action might lead to an Iraqi civil war, to criticism from many of our allies, and to an eventual loss of American support for an occupation.
Yeah. He was writing before September the 11th, 2001. And the world changed that day, Wolf.
But Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11.
Excuse me for a minute, please. The world changed that day because we had to deal with threats. No question, Saddam Hussein did not order the attacks. This is a struggle not between religions, and that's what people have got to understand. It's a struggle between people who use religion to kill, and those of us who are for peace. And to the extent that that issue gets muddied up, it confuses people. And so the clarity helps people get back to the real issue we face. People say this is a struggle of civilizations. I strongly disagree with that. I think this is a struggle for civilization. We're not fighting Islam.
Is it a mistake to use that phrase, Islamic fascist?
I regret when people lose lives. I regret when people lose lives. We're not fighting Islam.
Is it a mistake to use that phrase, Islamic fascist?
I rise in opposition of this bill, but I would like to clarify something. We're not trying to scare kids. This president's foreign policy is what's scaring the kids of this country. And that people have said today, why are people believing this? Why are people believing this big internet hoax? Well, it's the same people that told us Saddam Hussein had something to do with 9/11. Same people that told us Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Same people that told us we were going to be able to use the oil for reconstruction money. Same people that told us that we'd be greeted as liberators, not occupiers. Same people, same president that told us the Taliban is gone. Same president that told us that Poland is our ally 2 days before they pull out. Same president that tells us Iraq is going just great. Same president that tells us the economy is going just great. Same people that told us the tax cut was going to create millions of jobs. Same people that told us that the Medicare program only cost $400 billion when it really cost $540 billion. So please forgive us for not believing what you're saying. Please forgive the students of this country for not believing what you're saying. Not one thing about this war that has been told to the American people or that has been told to these college students has been true. Not one thing. Bremer says we need more troops. The Pentagon says we need more troops. And this president can't get them from the international community. There's only one option left. Let's be honest with the American people. I yield back the balance.
9/11 was an inside job. 9/11 was an inside job.